Hi everyone, Eileen here. It's Saturday and it's time for another Lavinia Stamps video tutorial from me to you. And this is the card that I'm doing today, and it features the beautiful Ariel, the larger of the two Ariel images, and also little Rory, who is very cute. Right, there's more stamps involved as well. More about those later as I go along. Let's get going. This is my cardstock that I'm using today. It's Lavinia Stamps Multifarious 330 GSM, and I've already cut it, and I folded it actually, an A4 sheet right down the middle, folded it, creased it, and then cut it to 15 centimetres, and the width of it here is just over 10 centimetres. So it makes a nice A6 card. Starting off with stencil, and this is feather leaf and some blue speckled egg. This is not a very wet ink pad, so it's going to give me a nice, hopefully, hazy look. Using a blue makeup brush, just testing, yeah, might need a bit of pressure here. And starting at the bottom, I'm not bothering to put any tape onto the stencil, just holding it in place and going right the way across from right to left, sorry, from left to right, and then up the card, keeping away now from right and left and staying in the middle, bit of a chunk in the middle, going up the card even further, narrower as well, not so far over, and then over to the right maybe as I get near to the top, but keeping it away from the top of the card totally. So let's have a look. Yeah, so that's a nice shape. So that's the stencil. Change brushes, going on to my purple or lavender one, and I'm using milled lavender and a mask from the set that you will find on the Lavinia Stamps website. They do a few different shades of these. This one is mountains and hills, but I'm not using it as that. I'm just using it to add a bit of abstract design to the background. Milled lavender, and just popping it down and adding a line or two or three. And I haven't got my microphone plugged in, and that is not very good. So, excuse me while I just pop that in. If I can find the end. Here we go. You should find that a bit easier on the ear. I will run the tape back to see and redo it again if it's not right. Right, so back to milled lavender and another line. And then switching the angle and yet another line, and I'm coming down from the top. And then maybe another one going up this way. Coming out a fair bit with the ink. Now, off to Tattered Rose Distress and the pink brush. I'm going to put a bit of colour in this side. Might do a swirly motion, why not? But again, coming out and then moving up the card, and then maybe another one here, and then this one maybe a final one right near the top to take your eye up the card, like so. That's not too bad. Maybe it needs a bit here though. Let's have some there. Yes, that's good. That's good, that's good. bit more over here. You've got to learn to stop though, that's the trouble. Right, okay, that'll do. Next I'm using a script stamp, and this is Sacred Spells. One of my absolute favourites because it's got such a lovely font and beautiful words as well. So that is Sacred Spells, and I've used VersaFine Clear Warm Breeze, bit of blue for the ink, and then over I just want to take off 1, 2 and make sure it's up the right way. Always check that it's up the right way. And then going over, I need to take this out because I want the card to stamp. I want to stamp off the card. So just gently, try and keep it straight. You'll still see it if it's crooked. Just gently down. Don't want too much of the script. And again, and then at the bottom, pressing really firmly now, so that I've got a word here and there, but it isn't overpowering the rest of the stenciling. Yeah, that's good. Maybe I could do another bit there. Try and keep it straight. Yeah, that's good. I'm happy with that. It's not to read the words, it's just to add a bit of texture in the background. Now on to stamping. Now you're going to see my lamp in this misty, I'm afraid. Apologies for that, it won't be for long. The light reflects, of course, on the surface of the misty. And this is my small misty, always on my desk, wouldn't be without it. Just taking off the magnets from the back of it. And we'll pop those 3 there. And then take, this is Ariel large. There's another image with the same name that is smaller. And popping her in the middle. It's beautiful. VersaFine Onyx Black, that's what I'm using today. You can use VersaFine Clear Nocturne, same pigment ink. It will give you exactly the same result. Beautiful inks, both of them. Gentle tapping. Don't want to cover the stamp all over with ink, just where the image is would be a good idea. So gentle tapping. And then over she goes. Just stand up, see if you've got it in the right place. I have. I can see the light reflected. Apologies about that. It will go in a moment. Ooh, magnets flying everywhere. There she is. Pop the magnets back. I shall move this out of the way and then clean her off later, the stamp. Beautiful image. And now little Rory. Not using a stamp mat for him. And Rory comes from the set that includes his, looks like his sister Darcy. Anyway, this is Rory. He's gorgeous, cheeky little chap. Pop him on a block. VersaFine again, Onyx Black, very gentle tapping. Don't want to overpower Darcy with Rory with ink either. So this is the Rory and Darcy set small, and these little characters have got larger images on the website as well, where you can buy the stamps individually. And a bit of cloth needed just to clean off that stray ink round the outside. And I'm just going to pop Darcy round about there. Press firmly and up. Done. Gorgeous. Now the final image to put on is the gorgeous stars. Very useful, this stamp. Fill in, to highlight, to add interest. But again, be careful. And you'll find the stars in the £1 section on the Lavinia Stamp website. Gentle tapping. And then popping it near Rory's finger so that he's pointing to the stars. And then I'm going to put another amount of stars here, just over on that corner to add a bit more interest. And that should do it. Now there's a couple of things left to do. I have a gold pen and also a grey polychromos. Just going to put some grey shading underneath the feet of the beautiful fairy and also under the feet of little Rory, just to give it a bit of shading so that they're not just floating about in mid-air. Although being a fairy she could, of course, and he's a fairy too, so he could as well, but in this case they're not. Okay, don't know what I'm doing for tomorrow's video. Hopefully find something nice. Can't go wrong with Lavinia Stamps, can you? And then the extra bit of interest that I'm adding, and I overdid it a bit on the first card, I think, so I'm going to add very lightly a few gold lines on these drops in the stencil that I used at the beginning. I don't want to put too much on because I think it can overpower it. So I'll just lightly draw in a few. And a few more this side, and one that side, and one down there. Oh, best do the middle. Just a few. And I think that will do it. I think the first card that I did had too many on. So, what do you think? Bring that down. Turn this around. That's the first card that I did. This one. And then this is the second. The only thing missing is a bit of texture. I've got to do that, you know. I just need a bit of texture there. So as you were, back to the sacred spells, and 1, 2, and that is up the wrong way, so I've got to be careful. 3, and I'm just going to pop it in there. It's still not coming out very well. A bit more there. That's better. That's better. So it just fills in that white gap there without losing too much of the white space. So I will now say bye-bye, and I will see you again tomorrow. Have a nice Saturday, and I'll see you tomorrow sometime with another Lavinia Stamps video tutorial. Bye for now. Take care.